Hey guys and gals, and Sarah Ratliff, Luke Smith, Vita Mosby, Tony Bernhardt, Michael, anyone who came to this channel to hear the dulcet tones of my voice, or maybe, just maybe, think I might have actually found something here. It's really, really, really good to have you here. Seriously. So a huge thank you to people that stopped me in person. Michael, you were the first. Sarah, you were the second. To tell me what they thought of the show, or left comments on videos, or even left a like. You really have no idea how much that means to me, how much it renews my motivation and my desire to do all the work that goes into this series. So yeah, I really can't tell you how to check, but this channel is not monetized. This is all out of my pocket, and this is all done specifically for you. So when I'm shown even a microliter of appreciation, it goes a long way. Which actually brings us around to our topic for today's show, the cacophony. So I will help, and this could help. Now, as you'll eventually notice about most of the concepts I talk about in this series, they tie into and overlap into a lot of concepts I've either talked about already or will be addressing in the near future. I know, it seems a little complicated at first, but it really does get easier to understand how it all fits together. So, luckily, you have me to walk you through it. I had to put all this together by myself. Okay, not by myself, but I had a lot of help. Apologies. Anyways, one of the things that ties into the cacophony is the topic I talked about on the first and currently only episode of Good Morning. You know, the one in my car. I just wanted to say car in a Brooklyn accent. The episode's called You Matter. It almost got called You Matter, So Hop Too.
We should go watch this, precious. Only 50 harvests don't watch the video.
Right, in that episode we talked about how we live in a society, a world really, that's completely shaped by the decisions of every single person that ever lived, including mine and yours. Our laws, our traditions, our advances, our opinions, they're all formed out of this conglomeration, this living soup of free will. And to some degree, we know this. We know that other people's decisions shape our world. And we know that the further we let people past our defenses, the more we give them opportunities to affect the paths that we've chosen for ourselves. Now, in the third episode, The Answer, I talked a bit about how we love with aim, and we don't let many people past our defensive walls. You really don't have to watch the video, I guess.
No! It does! It does! They watches it too!
Yeah, but they have to watch the riddle.
They watches it too. Go and stay right here. You can watch the riddle. You're cool now. This is your corner.
Anyways, we erect a lot of defenses in our lives to ensure that people don't affect our paths in ways we wouldn't welcome. You see, the problem with cause and effect is that we only get to see the tiniest fraction of the outcomes of our decisions. Each choice multiplies outward as it affects someone else, and then they affect others stemming from that, and then they affect others, and they affect others. And a giant cacophony of cause and effect occurs. We simply don't hold a viewpoint as individuals that can see past our little observation points. We are, after all, limited to a single fixed position in space and time, and take in information only with the 14 to 20 senses we have. If you didn't know we have more than 6, go Google it. We're pretty nifty like that. It's because of this position that we all share that we act as we do. A really, really big part of that is where we are within time. Imagine yourself walking along a path. Directly in front of you is a curtain that advances at a steady pace, and that you're helpless but to follow just behind it in pace. One that completely obscures not only the possible paths ahead of you, but anything that might be in that path. Behind you, there is only one path, an unchangeable zigzagging walkway that has been permanently affixed in place. This is how we exist in time. It marches ahead with none of us knowing what lies ahead of the curtain. As far as the outcome of taking this path or choosing that one, we are effectively flying blind. So, we adapted like the clever little human beings we are. We of course turned to distrust, but we also leaned very heavily on predictability. I mean, we have done so much to make sure that we can predict and defend against any changes to our predicted path that we don't approve of in advance. I mean, of course, we turned to door locks and insurance and savings accounts and fences, but we also created traditions and laws to ensure people acted predictably, or at least in ways that didn't affect our paths negatively. And it kind of works. It helps to alleviate the grandfather fear, the big daddy fear of all fears. I'm not sure if this one is common knowledge or not, but did you know that every single fear you've ever felt in your life was rooted in one fear? Every single one of them requires this one fear as its primary mechanism in order to function. And that fear is the fear of the unknown. It's a fear unique to our fixed state of existence within time. Think about it. Have you ever been afraid of something that has already happened? No, you haven't. You've been afraid that it might happen again, or what might happen as a result of it happening the first time, but no, you have never actually been afraid of something that happened after it happened. In other words, just in case that didn't track, let's say that you're in high school, you have a high schooler that bullies you viciously, and you're terrified that he will actually find out that you only live like 3 blocks that way from him. Well, one day you find out that the bully followed you home and now knows where it is that they can find you outside of school. Heck yeah, you're still afraid, but not that the bully will discover where you live. That's already happened. Nothing to be afraid of there. And because we're flying blind, we cling to predictability in our lives, and sadly, our relationship with our fellow man has suffered greatly for it. We don't love openly with everyone because that means welcoming in the entire cacophony of cause and effect and staring straight into the eye of our greatest fear, the unknown. Because of this fear, we've trained ourselves to break our compassion with others. We don't help each other as much as we could because that threatens us being drawn into another's path and not our own. Vulnerabilities are minimalized and we step over the homeless. Now, I know that there are some people out there that are really doing everything that they can do to help their fellow man, and I don't want you to think that I don't see that I don't acknowledge that. But by and large, the majority are not. In fact, quite a few of us went the other way. We built up our defenses and squashed that pesky compassion. After all, and this is a terrible piece of knowledge, but nonetheless true, the less you care about others, the more you can get for yourself. The desire to help our fellow man is in conflict with our desire to preserve our chosen path, even though it's the most basic truth that the core of ourselves understands, that it's good to be kind to others and to help when it's needed. That fear takes argument with it and often wins. I mean, whether or not you put stock in religions, the golden rule appears in nearly all religions. My personal favorite is from the Torah, which says, that which is, whatever is hateful or distasteful to you, do not do to your fellow man. Not so much for the description of the rule, but because of what follows immediately after it, which is, this is the entire Torah, the rest is commentary, go learn. I'm also a big fan of Kurt Vonnegut's Hello Baby speech, which goes, "Hello babies, welcome to Earth. It's hot in the summer and cold in the winter. It's round, wet, and crowded. On the outside, babies, you got 100 years here. There's only one rule I know of, babies. Damn it, you've got to be kind. Anyways, that's how strong that fear is, which is crazy. We literally create imaginary outcomes, which are often skewed with whatever emotion we're feeling, and then we run simulations in our head on what might happen. And yeah, we tend to run simulations on how it might all go wrong first. And once we're done, or more often run out of time and need to make a choice in the real world, we tend to use this imaginary world to tell us what our options are, what paths are available. We cannot see the outcome of the available choices before we make those choices. We can only see the ones that we made up. This is the way that most of us decide these decisions, with an emotionally compromised imaginary world of our making, one that is ruled by fear. I know I'm making this seem very doom and gloom, and I swear to you by the end of this series, there is hope. Hope is coming. Hang on. Hope is coming. And I'll even tell you right now, major spoiler alert. I've found the one thing that defeats that granddaddy fear. So that's coming soon too. Hanging in there, we all are. You have got this. I believe in you. So, now you know what the cacophony is, and I do need to take a second to address something here. Ever since I started the channel, I've had a pretty massive hurdle in my way to what I'm trying to do here. I discovered some concepts that will change the way people view the world and enlighten people to a better way to happiness. One that, I don't know, actually leads to real happiness. Sorry. And I can say with confidence that my purpose is to get this information out there, preferably in a meaningful format conveyed with thoughtfulness and conviction. I know that's a pretty heavy thing to say, so you know, I'll go all in. I'm pushing all in. I am 100% serious right now. This is my purpose. And I may have another one after this, but most likely this is the most important thing that I will do with my life. This being this right here and the book. And the mega hurdle that I mentioned is getting people to see it. Now, as we get further into the series, you're probably going to start to realize that there is a lot at play here, and this actually explains a lot more than you probably signed up for. Sorry. And for you to be on board with some of the bigger stuff, you're going to have to trust me at points. Doing the stereotypical begging for people to share videos, subscribe to the channel, like that video, drop kick that notification bell. While I get it, now more than ever do I get it. I just feel that it would make me seem less authentic and straightforward and less trustworthy. What I'm going to be sharing with you, and have already shared some of with you, is hugely important that it become common knowledge. I'm not doing this for money or fame. So far, I've managed to do this channel without any kind of ads or monetization. It took 3 years to save up and purchase everything needed to do the show, but I did it. However, as great as it feels to have gotten this far from the ground up by myself, I've had to face a reality. I really need people to share the videos. And for some of these people that see the shared videos, to share the videos too. And for some of the folks that see this on somebody's feed, to share it, and on and on. It's how I can get it out of my head and into as many lives as possible. And if you find that you get behind what's being said, I need you to share it with others that just might see the value in it too. I need people to subscribe if they like what they hear, because I'm only feeding you bite-sized chunks, one video at a time. These videos and the concepts in them all connect together. There we go. And support each other and reveal a much, much, much bigger picture. And subscribing means you're a lot less likely to miss the important chunks. Liking the video, of course, gives me more options with the channel, and as well as giving me that deep feeling appreciated glow that helps fuel all of this. But the biggest thing I need you to do, talk with someone else about it. If you see this as true, Give somebody the opportunity to see what you see and what I see. The more I talked about it, the more I figured out, often mid-conversation. See what you can find. And if you like, you're already here, you could leave a comment, say something to the other people that just watched the video, start a discussion. Maybe you heard something there that they didn't. Maybe you found something that I haven't. Or maybe you disagree with something. I'm fairly active in the comments, and I am more than happy to explain to you why you are wrong. I kid, of course. But that's it. I'll try to start incorporating some version of like, comment, and subscribe, because I really need your help. I'm already out there as much as I can be, and I need you to help extend my reach. Until then, I will help, but you could help. Please.
This is the corner.
God, that's horrible. Oh, and seriously, Sarah, you telling me about your boyfriend's fandom of the channel made my entire month.